Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? How we doing? How we feeling? The Sunday night post game, after the game, after we got our you know what picked up and down the field by division rivals, Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Atlanta Falcons took one to the chin earlier today, losing 30-0. Yeah, 30-0. We didn't score not 1 point. Not a field goal. Not a safety. Nothing. Donut. 0 points. You know, did not get in the end zone. And this excuse me. This was a very, very, very bad loss, y'all. This was a very, very, very bad, ugly loss because after we go down there, well, after we go up there and we beat Minnesota, this is supposed to be the game the Falcons needed to win. You know, granted, it was on the road, but it's in Carolina. It's not like Carolina got some hostile environment, you know. It's right up the street from Atlanta, so I'm sure we had a lot of Falcons fans there too, but regardless, I don't care what we played. This is a game that we were supposed to win. You know, it helps solidify that the tides have turned for this team. And we got the dog. They walked the dog on us. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. I'm going to say some things on this show tonight that's not going to be popular. I repeat, I'm going to say some things on this show tonight that's not going to be popular. And it's more than likely going to be unconventional to what you have heard. You know, so I'm letting you know that straight up, you know, and that's totally cool. That's totally cool. Let me take this Zach Robinson holding the offense back. That was from our show yesterday. So we on something else today. So yeah, this is gonna be some unpopular perspective from me tonight. Now, if you're on my Facebook, and you know, feel free to follow me on Facebook, Tidy Jones. You know, feel free to follow me on Facebook. Now, if you're on my Facebook, you already know what this about to be about. If you're on my Facebook. Because immediately after the game, I went on Facebook Live also. Falcons didn't score 0 points. No points at all. Now, This is the narrative that's going to be put out. The narrative that's going to be put out and echoed out from our fans is that it's the coach's fault. It's Zach Robinson's fault. It's Raheem's fault. And don't get me wrong, they are some at fault. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they are without fault. That's what I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not saying that they are. Everybody can get some blame, everybody. But what I'm really trying to say is the narrative that you're going to hear immediately after this game for the next few days, a couple of days, is that nobody is to blame but the coaches. They're the reasons that we got beat like this. That's the narrative that you're going to hear. You might even hear that from some in the media. I don't know. Depends on which media you go to. But that's going to be the narrative that gets pushed. I'm going to give you a different perspective tonight. When you start pointing fingers, y'all know we fans, bro. Start for fanatics. We gonna point some fingers. Oh, it's his fault, his fault, his fault, his fault, they fault, they fault, they fault. We gonna point some fingers. That's what we do. That's part of being a fan, especially when you start breaking stuff down after the game. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Get straight to the point. When it's time to start passing out blame, if our quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., is not number one on that list, I think it's a flawed list. In my personal opinion, I think it's a flawed list. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I told y'all this is not gonna be popular. It's gonna be unconventional. Michael Penix Jr. was absolutely terrible today. Horrific, horrible. He was terrible. That's why I went with that caption. Michael Penix Jr. was seeing ghosts against the Carolina Panthers, because he was. He was absolutely terrible. Now, for everybody who don't want to be upfront and give Penix any blame, you want to blame everything on Zach Robinson, I'll give you this. If you want to say that was a poor game plan by the Falcons offensively, if the game plan was bad, and say, okay, Ty, the game plan was bad, that's coaching. So yeah, it's Zach Robinson's fault. You know what? I'll say I can agree with that. I say, you know what? Game plan was bad. Me personally, I would have went with something else as far as our offensive game plan goes. I will give you that. But yet and still, and this is why I have not removed this from my bio part on my name. Players make plays. You still got to make plays. Even if the game plan isn't what I would have envisioned, that still doesn't give Michael Penix the excuse to come out here and play absolutely trash. And now let me also say this before I dig even deeper into Michael Penix and how he played today. This is a game that I'm not surprised by. I've been saying before the regular season even started, like, hey, y'all, don't think Penix gonna come out here and pass for 4,300 yards and 35 plus touchdowns. It's his first year as a starter. Hey, there are gonna be peaks and there are gonna be valleys. There are gonna be some games that he looks like the next Pat Mahomes, and there are gonna be some games that he looks like, why did we draft this guy? That's just the nature of the beast. Typically dealing with a first year starting quarterback. That first year Patrick Mahomes that he had in Kansas City, when the very first year he started, which is his second season, that doesn't happen. That's what you call it, anomaly. typically first-year starting quarterbacks in the NFL, they go through periods and times and points where they struggle. They look bad. So am I surprised by how terrible Penix looked tonight? No, I'm not. As I said before the season started, I said, hey, man, hey, y'all, like everybody talking about, hey, man, everybody talking about Penix gonna do this and do this. Hey, I hope he do. But I'm gonna be realistic, man. Like, bro, prepare yourself. There are gonna be some dog days of summer. And shout out to this, I think, being the last day of summer. I think we got officially about 1 hour left of summertime. But yeah, I was saying, look, man, there are gonna be some dog days of summer, y'all. Like, bro, I hope I'm wrong, but first year starting quarterbacks in the NFL, bro, they don't just come out and be balling like everybody already thinking Penix gonna do, bro. It's gonna be some learning periods for Mike. There are gonna be some peaks and there are gonna be some valleys. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not surprised by this. I'm not. I also said this, and I'll dig more into this a little bit later. Also, I've been saying this pretty repetitively. This offense, and this goes back to a game when I was saying about the game plan. The 2025 Falcons offense needs to be ran similar to the 2008 Falcons offense. This needs to be a run heavy, ball dominant, time of possession, grinded out type of team. What we saw in Minnesota last week, that's the team we need to be 70% of the time. That's our keys to victory. When you want Penix to come out and you're trying to get him to throw the ball 30, 35, 40 times a game, you're probably going to lose most of those games. But when you saw last night, when you take the keys out of Penix's hands, you put the keys in your running back's hands and say, hey, running backs, drive the car, get us where we need to go. That stylistically, that's the type of team we need to be offensively. That's what we need to be. We need to be, again, what the 2008 Falcons offense was when Matt Ryan was a rookie. Michael Turner came in here and we just rolled on Turner's back. You know, we gave Turner the keys to the car. Hey, dog, you drive it. Get us there. We here for the ride, big bro. We just following you. We didn't ask Matt Ryan to do very much at all as a rookie. Hey, Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, as they call you, bro, just don't lose the game. The running back gonna win the game on offense. You just don't lose the game. Don't throw two interceptions in the game. Don't fumble the ball. We'll be okay. That's what this team needs to be. When we're coming out here, we're trying to ask Michael Penix to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. Anything over 30 times, you're stretching it. You kind of want to keep him 28 attempts or under. That's anything over 28 attempts, you're risking it. We need to be running the football. That's our key. That's how we're going to get what we need to get this year. It's not going to be trying to get Michael Penix to throw the ball 40 times a game. That's not what's going to get us to win. Now, speaking of stylistically, running the football. And I apologize if I'm being repetitive because some of this stuff I've said before, but I'm going to say it again. Bijan Robinson. I'm going to go ahead and say it, superstar running back, third year in the NFL. The offense has to be ran through Bijan at this point in time. Until Michael Penix can prove to himself, similar to Matt Ryan did, which came years later. You know, Matt Ryan is I know it's a big arguing point about Matt Ryan. I won't go down that road, but if you're being objective, you would agree Matt Ryan is the greatest Atlanta Falcons quarterback of all time. Might not be the most talented, but he is the greatest. There's a difference. Not the most talented. No, he isn't, but he is the greatest. Now, he did not come out just setting the NFL on fire. Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year, but again, he didn't set the NFL on fire as a rookie. I think Matt only threw 19, and I haven't looked at the stats. Maybe I should, but I think Matt only threw 19 passing touchdowns as a rookie. He had about 11 interceptions also. The passing yards, I think he had about 2,800. Let me actually look at it. Let me start trying to go off memory. Let's look at what Matt Ryan's stats. Let's take a look at it. 2008, Matt Ryan had, he had more passing yards than I thought. He had 3,400 passing yards. He only had 16 passing touchdowns. So he only averaged one passing touchdown a game, 11 interceptions. Second year, he only had 22 passing touchdowns, 2,900 passing yards. He did miss 2 games, but still, he would have barely had over 3,000 if he played all games. The point I'm trying to make is our greatest quarterback, the greatest Falcons quarterback of all time, did not come out setting the league on fire, man. You know, we did not give him all those responsibilities, man. Like, we depended on our running backs and our running game. And until Matt got to the point where he learned what he needed to learn, and he had some seasons under his belt, then we hand him the keys and say, you know what, Matt, it's time to go. It's time for us to go from a running team to a passing team. And all them years that we were running the ball with Michael Turner, we still was going to the playoffs. We still was winning 11 games, 13 games, still going to the playoffs. But really, my overall point is that's what this team needs to be. You know, you need to go back and look how the 2008 Falcons operated. And so when you do that, you have more games like you had against Minnesota. You know, you run the ball, you set the tempo, you control the tempo, you control the time of possession, you take the stress off your defense, which enables them to play better. And that gives you a better chance at winning football games. Yeah, I know we got Drake London. I know we got Darnell Mooney. I know we got Kyle Pitts. I know we want to get them yards and everything, but that's not conducive to us winning games. You don't need Michael Penix throwing 35 plus times a game. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. He's obviously not there yet. But excuse me. But anyway, we'll go back there. As I said, when you start pointing the blame, if Michael Penix ain't number one on your list, in my opinion, I don't know what you watched today. If you point the blame, and it's cool to point blame, like I said, we fans, I mean, that's just what we do. When you start pointing blame and you starting off with Zach Robinson, Raheem Morris, the defense, I don't know what you watched today. If you ain't starting off with Michael Penix as you know, the top of your list, I don't know what you watched today. I don't. And I get it. I get it as a Falcons fan. Like, you want to protect your quarterback. You want to coddle your quarterback. You want to protect him from criticism off the field. You want to protect him from harm's way on the field. You know, this is your young puppy. You don't want people criticizing your young puppy. You know, you want to treat him like a baby in a sense. So you like, look, I'm not finna criticize him. And you know what? To be honest, rightfully so. This is his first year starter. Technically, he's not a rookie, but this is his first year starter. And I would be a hypocrite if I sit here and admit to y'all I wasn't surprised by this game. I figured we were going to have some games like this. Then to come back and say, well, you know, you gotta come down on Penix this away or this away or this away, and like, you know, that would be a little hypocritical on my part, but I still got to keep it funky. I still gotta keep it funky. The very first drive of the game, I saw the very first drive of the game. We might have a Michael Penix problem this game. The very first drive of the game, he was throwing the ball everywhere. He was throwing the ball high. No. Bump the first drive of the game. The first play of the game. Let's start on the very first play of the game. When he overthrew Kyle Pitts, I said to myself, uh-oh. It might be one of them games. I didn't know it would get that bad, though. I didn't know it would get that bad. The very first play of the game, you got a wide open Kyle Pitts. It's 1st and 10. All you gotta do is hit Kyle Pitts, and you're gonna get anywhere from 6 to 8 yards. You know, if Kyle happens to break some touchdowns, hey, you might get a 15-yard game. But at the minimum, you're going to get 6 yards. Just put the ball there, do it high. And I'm sitting there looking at that like, how we missed that pass? How did we miss that pass? The whole first drive. Now, Penix did make some nice completions on that first drive, but he missed far too many passes on that first drive. Far too many passes. Y'all go back and watch the first drive. If you go back and watch it objectively, you're going to say this, oh, man, Ty went line. He went line. Because, boy, Penix, this first drive, Penix missing these cats. Kyle Pitts was wide open. Just put the ball there. You know, put the ball there. We got the ball first. Let's go ahead and put 7 points on the board real quick. Because we had a productive drive, the opening drive, but the quarterback stalled us out. You know, I know some people, oh, man, that's Zach Robinson. No, bro. Zach ain't the one missing these guys, man. Zach ain't the one throwing these passes. That was on Penix. And he's a first-year starter and all that, and just because he done had this terrible game today, does that mean that we should bench him? And I'm trying to tell you, don't support him. And no, it's nothing like that, man. It's nothing like that. But hey, I can't come here with a straight face and try to sell you something that I know I didn't watch. I can't come here with a straight face and try to blame everything on my coaching staff when I know my quarterback played like crap. I know he played like crap. I saw him play like crap. You know, so I can't with a straight face come out here in front like that. I can't do it. So that first drive, we had a chance to get a touchdown. Penix, he was terrible at throwing the football. Like I said, the very first play, he missed Kyle Pitts. He also, if memory serves me correctly, threw the ball high to Drake London on that same drive. You know, just bundled an opportunity for us to put a touchdown on the scoreboard first. Now, again, if you want to say we should have came out and ran more, hey, I'm going to agree with you on that. You say, Tyler, if we just came out running the ball the first drive, you know, it might have been a little different. Excuse me. I agree with you on that. Players still got to make plays, though. Players still got to make plays. You know, if we coming out there and the play calls a pass play, just because we ain't running the ball, that don't mean you can play like crap. That's not how that works. There are some passes for people who are watching this, who are rap fans, especially older, like 90s rap, and even people who ain't really rap fans. I'm sure you're gonna know this record label when I say it. I saw Michael Penix throw about 4 passes that I call death row records passes. I call these death row record passes. I saw about 4 of them today. And in one football game, you really don't want to see a quarterback throw no more than about 1 death row records passes. If that. The reason I call these passes death row records passes because you're setting your receiver up to get killed. And I saw about 4 of them today. After the second one, I'm like, bro, what is Penix doing? He trying to get his guys killed. What is he doing? He threw one and he almost got his tight end. His head almost got ripped off his body. I think it was Charlie Warner. He threw one at Pitts, and honestly, I don't know how Kyle Pitts did not get hurt on that pass. He bypassed, speaking of Kyle Pitts, he bypassed an easy game once again to Kyle Pitts. I'm kind of starting to feel sorry for Kyle Pitts because it seems like everybody just won't throw him the football, even when he's open. But anyway, there's one play he bypassed Kyle Pitts, easy game, positive yardage. You got about a 3 or 4 yard gain, and you got another opportunity to still get a first down. Bypass Kyle Pitts, easy throw. Threw it to Bijan, and Bijan ass got lit up on the sideline. Bah! Time Bijan caught about, bah! I'm like, bro, you gonna get these guys killed. Now what are you doing? Same thing. He threw one like that to Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier catch the ball, bah! And I'm like, why is he throwing these death row records passes? You're throwing these passes where you're giving the defense a free opportunity to take your teammates' heads off their shoulders. Free opportunity. Again, I call these death row records passes because you're setting them up to get killed. That's why I call them death row records passes. And he was just all willy-nilly with woo. I'm like, boy, I don't care if this your second year or not, you throw me a pass like that, bro, I'm going to cuss you out when I get back in the huddle, dog. And I'm sure somebody did eventually. Hey, Penix, what the dog? I'm sure they did. Penix, he was rattled all game. He was rattled, confused, very confused. I saw him lose his confidence. He was overwhelmed. And it all came out on his decision making and his passes, the accuracy of his passes. All of it came out, bro. All of it came out. You can't win in this league in 2025. Maybe in 1992 or 1987, when everything wasn't based solely on how the quarterback played. But in 2025, in the NFL, you're going to have a very, very, very extremely difficult time winning football games when your starting quarterback goes 18 for 36. Yes, that's only 50%. That's something even in it's even 6th graders and 7th graders, they should be passing over 50% nowadays. But your starting quarterback's 18 for 36. 100 and what he had 172, I think. The yards really don't matter. 172 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 1 interception was a pick 6. And don't even get me started on that pick 6. Oh boy. The second interception came this close from being a pick 6. He almost had two pick 6s in the game. Brothers, sisters, you're gonna lose about 95% of those games in the NFL when your quarterback has a stat line like that. You just cannot win with your quarterback in this league playing that poorly. 18 for 36, only 172 yards. Do you realize that Bijan averaged more yards per attempt running the football than Penix had throwing the football. Yards per attempt throwing the football. Penix averaged about 4.7 yards, which is absolutely horrible. But he averaged about 4.7 yards per attempt throwing the football. Jr averaging 5.5 yards per attempt running the football. You're not going to win like that. I'm sorry. In today's NFL, you cannot win in this league if your quarterback is playing this poorly with the football. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. There was one play, 3rd and 8. Drake London ran about a 12-yard out, had his man beat. All Penix had to do is put the ball on his body. Just put it on his body. Throw it right there at his jersey. Threw it too far. Darnell Mooney couldn't get to it. All he had to do is put it on his body. The chains, if you'd have put that ball on his body, Penix, the chains keep moving. Overthrown. Man, Penix threw so many bad passes that game, man. I lost count after a while. Yeah. You just lose count after a while. You lose count after a while. And as bad as that pick six was, this is the thing about the pick six. Do y'all realize? And the thing about it, Carolina really trash. I mean, they beat us, so I guess that means we trash too. But Carolina really trash. Our quarterback was terrible. They really didn't put us away to way at the end of the game. But anyway, that pick six, the score was like 10-0, and we had the ball. We are still very much in this game. At the minimum, just go get a field goal if the field goal kicker make it. But anyway, just put some points on the board. It's only 10-0. That pick six, guys, when I saw it, I knew it was a bad pass. But when I saw the replay, it was like, oh, hell no. I can't defend this. Because I'm going to keep it real with y'all. When Desmond Ridder, y'all remember Ridder? When he was in his first year as a starter, his second season, a lot of us, me included, we were critical of Ridder. We were critical of when Ridder came out and he played like shit. We would get behind these mics and we would light him up. So I can't get behind this mic and not judge Penix the same way I judge Ridder, especially being Ridder was a 3rd round draft pick and Penix was a top 8 draft pick. So I can't sit here and do the double standards thing, bro. I can't get behind his mic and talk about how poorly Ridder played, and even though this is only his first year starting, you can't be that bad. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That what I saw from Penix today looked like one of Ridder's worst games in Atlanta. That what I saw from Ridder today, what I saw from Penix today, that looked like some of Desmond Ridder's bad work. Some of his worst games in Atlanta. That, if not worse. So going back to the pick six. It was bad when I seen it live. But when I saw the replay, I was like, oh boy. Penix is seeing ghosts. I don't know. I don't want to accuse him of not caring or not applying himself. But I don't know where his mind state was at. Like, how did you make this mistake this bad? And don't get me wrong, nobody perfect. I mean, every position makes mistakes. I see Bijan make mistakes in the games. I'm not tripping on that, but A mistake of that magnitude. How can you be this careless with the football? He took the snap, did his drop back, looked at his first read. I think he glanced at the second read. And mind you, he wasn't under duress. It's not like he had 2 or 3 big defensive linemen pursuing him. He had time. There was plenty of time. So he just looking at the first 2 reads, and then all of a sudden he just turned around and just lollygag about this. I'm just gonna lollipop this ball. Boop. Like he was outside playing football with his 5-year-old son or child. I'm gonna look this way, and then there. So whoop, boop. Just gonna throw it this way, whoop. And the guy who caught the pick 6, he didn't do anything spectacular. It's not like, and forgive me for not knowing the defender's name, but it's not like the defender did anything spectacular. It ain't like he did some Deion Sanders bait Penix and fooled him, because hey, if an 8-year vet bait, a young quarterback, you learn, hey, you just gotta live with that. He'll learn from that. But he didn't do that spectacular. He was in zone. He just, like, shoot, I'm just going, hey, I got the easy part of this zone. I'm just hitting the flats, bro. I ain't got deep or nothing. I ain't got middle of the field. All I gotta do, I'm just gonna lollygag out here. But I'm gonna watch Penix, anyway. Even though I know, and I'm not calling Penix dumb, but the defender, probably, even though I know Penix ain't dumb enough to just throw this ball right here. I'm gonna watch him, but I know he ain't gonna throw the ball. So do my little back pedal, make sure I don't net come to the flats. If Bijan bring his little quick ass out here, I'm gonna light Bijan up. And he watching Penix and okay, he don't see nothing over here. Come on. He brought a thing. I know Penix not finna throw this football. I know a guy who played in a national championship game at the Heisman ceremony, top 8 pick. I know he ain't gonna throw this football. He threw the football. And that was the easiest interception, man. Like, oh God. That's what really frustrates me about it, because it was just how careless my quarterback was with the football. How he ignored everything every coach has ever taught him. Getting to this level, you're never that careless with the football, bro. It's almost like he forgot that there's defenders over there. Like, I can't even figure out, like, what his mind frame, like, what are you doing? And he had an opportunity to run outside the pocket. Now, am I asking Michael Penix to come back here and be the Michael Vick, had a Michael Vick experience? No, that ain't who he is. Even though he got some nice wheels, but I know that's not who he is. He ain't Vick, he ain't Lamar, he ain't Josh Allen. But bro, put some stress on the defense. Make them work. You had all that time and you didn't get outside if you get outside the pocket, now that dude who picked 6 you, Penix, now he has to make a decision. Am I going to hold tight on my responsibilities, or I'm going to come up here and pursue the quarterback? Now you got some leverage. And if all else fails, throw the ball out of bounds, bro. Throw the ball out of bounds. There's nothing, and this is why I've been so frustrated with people trying to blame everything about this game on the coaching staff, bro. There's nothing no offensive coordinator is going to do to combat that. If you make that dumb of a mistake, if you're that careless with the ball, that's on you. That's not on the offensive coordinator. That's not on Zach Robinson. That's not on Kevin O'Donnell. That's not on Kyle Shanahan. That's not on Andy Reid. That's not on Arthur Smith. That's on the player. That was one of the most ridiculous interceptions I've seen from the Falcons. any Falcons quarterback, and that's saying a lot. I've seen some bad ones here, but that interception, it's almost like bro just had a brain fart and forgot he was in an NFL game. It's almost like he's just playing in the backyard, with his kids or with or some relatives. Like, just throw this up. It don't mean nothing if nobody else don't catch it. Like, dog, what are you doing? Then they score. Because, again, it's only 10-0 at this point. Now it's 17-0. We still ain't out the game. Still ain't out the game. But this is why, and Zach could possibly be a terrible coordinator. Raheem could be a terrible head coach. But there are some situations where you got to point the finger at the right place. Today's game wasn't the right game to say how bad the coaches are. No, bro, your quarterback was just ass, Holmes. Your quarterback was just ass. Did you not watch your quarterback? Your quarterback was ass. Your quarterback was complete and total posterior. Let's start there. Now, we start with the quarterback and how he play, and then if we want to trickle all the way down to the coaching staff, yeah, I'm good with that. But we ain't finna totally just ignore how bad the quarterback was. We ain't gonna just ignore that part of it. And I'm not even. By the time the second interception was thrown, I knew Penix was cooked. Believe it or not, that one really wasn't that big of a deal to me because at that point, when that pick six happened, that solidified it for me. Like I said, I was concerned when I seen him miss a wide open Kyle Pitts on the very first play of the game. I was concerned there, bro. Like, what? That dude, how you miss Kyle Pitts? He about the same height as these basketball players that play for the Atlanta Hawks. How you miss that big old dude, bro? That's a little short, just whoop. You ain't got to put a lot on that pass. Ain't like you just had to cock it back. That was just whoop, whoop, flip of the wrist. And you're like, bro, how you miss him? But by the time we got to the second interception, I was just like, man, he cooked. Penix cooked. They had him confused, rattled, overwhelmed. They took his confidence from him. And they turned a guy who through his first 5 NFL starts looked like within the next 4 to 5 years, he would be easily a top 3, top 5 NFL quarterback to a guy that made you question, why did y'all draft this guy in the top 10 of the draft again? What were y'all thinking? Because this guy and the passes he's making, the decision making, this guy don't look like a top 8 pick. Today's game, that bad play was just so polarizing. Now, will Mike learn from this, bounce back, and be a better quarterback 2 months from now? I think so. Because there's a lot to learn from this game. I think so. I definitely think so. But he was out there seeing ghosts. He was out there seeing ghosts and goblins and all kind of stuff. And you can't talk about how bad the coaching staff was if you're not talking about how terrible your quarterback was. You just can't. You can't do it because Michael Penix was just incredibly terrible today. Incredibly terrible. And I almost forgot about this because, oh my God, this pissed me off so bad. So bad. I was so hot about this. But after the pick six, after I'm done cussing and everything, you know, I'm watching the game after I'm done cussing. I'm saying to myself, I even made a post in the group like, man, it's hey, we're still in the game. As bad as we done played, it's only 17-0. And we're still in the third quarter. So, bro, we still got plenty of time. That's just how terrible the Panthers were. And that makes us look even worse because they couldn't even take advantage and really just knock us out. But we were still in the game and we were about to get the ball back. So I'm like, bro, I mean, Penix get it together, and, you know, we score a touchdown, we'll be all right. And I'm pretty sure this was the series, but it ended up being 4th and 4. And we needed these 4 yards. I think Ray McLeod ran a dig or curl route. Regardless of what he ran, he was sitting in the middle of the field, wide as open. And I know y'all know the play I'm talking about, because it seemed like that's when the energy got drained out the team. And everybody said, all right, it's over. Seemed like that's when even the defense like, okay, it's over. But Ray McLeod sitting there wide open. Michael Penix saw him open, cocked back, threw the ball in the dirt. Incomplete pass. Guys, and I know a lot of times we get behind these mics and we start exaggerating, you know, but I'm not exaggerating. Ray was wide open. Penix threw the ball in the dirt. Incomplete pass. And plays like that, y'all, is why I have a hard time going along with the narrative that it's everybody's fault but Penix's fault. I can't watch what I watched today and come out here with a straight face and not tell y'all how terrible Michael Penix was today. Michael Penix was a majority reason why we lost the game. Am I saying he lost us the game? No. But if you start to point fingers, you bet, boy, he better get the largest percentage of the blame. His percentage of blame should be higher than anybody on the coaching staff. I'm sorry. You know, maybe the game plan was not what I envisioned or would have liked it to be, but you still got to play football. You know, if we ain't running the ball as much as I want us to, that still does not give my quarterback an excuse to play as poorly and make terrible decisions today like Michael Penix did with that football. I am sorry. I can't do it. I can't with a straight face come on here and front and flex to y'all and play politics. I can't do it. I've never been good at playing politics, and I ain't going to start when it comes to me covering the Falcons. I can't do it. I cannot do it. If I could come on here and light Troy Anderson ass up when he playing like absolute crap, I could do the same for Desmond Ridder. I can do the same for Michael Penix. You know, there are no favors when it comes to me. I don't do the player politics. There are no favors. If you playing like ass, I'm gonna get on this mic and I'm gonna talk about you and say, hey, so and so was ass today. Michael Penix Jr. today, he was ass today. Now, is it more acceptable for Penix to be ass? It's his first year as a starter? Absolutely. You know, absolutely. It's better for him to be ass early in the season, bounce back and learn from it, than to be ass week 15. You know, absolutely. Freaking lootly. I can go for that early in the season. I don't like it, but like I say, man, like I had a feeling that there would be some games and some scenarios like this. You know, had a feeling. But again, I just can't come on here and play and fool around like I didn't see what I saw there. When Desmond Ritter got the starting job for Mariota, and we moved on from Mariota, and we said Ritter would be the starter. When Ritter played this bad, I would get behind this mic and I would tell y'all, man, Ritter, boy, woo, that dude played like ass. So I can't do the politics and not do the same for Penix Jr. I just can't do it. Even though I feel like Penix is 5 times as talented as Ritter was or is. But if you play that poorly, bro, I cannot play like I didn't see what I saw. I saw Penix missing receiver after receiver after receiver after receiver after receiver. He just throwing the ball high, throwing the ball all over Drake London head, throwing the ball over Kyle Pitts head. You know, Sam Bijan up to get his head taken off. You know, San Charlie Warren up to get his head taken off. Throwing the ball in the dirt to Ray. 3rd and 8, key 3rd down, and he don't put the ball on Darnell Mooney, who was wide open for an out route. Dog, I can't put that stuff on coaching, man. When you have an opportunity presented to you and you don't capitalize off the opportunity, that's on you. That's on you. I can't look at that 4th and 4 and say, well, that's Zach Robinson's fault. Nope, that's on Raheem. Oh boy, that was some poor coaching by Raheem. Man, boy. I can't look at that pick 6 and say, oh boy, that's on him. That pick 6 is him fault. I can't look at that pick 6 and say, well, that's on Zach Robinson, boy. Boy, that's on Zach. Oh, that's Zach. No. That was just a piss poor play. Piss poor decision making. Brain farts, being careless, being clueless, not being aware, lack of awareness. The same stuff I come on here and flame Troy Anderson about is what I saw from my quarterback. Straight up. So if I come on here and flame Troy and anybody else that play for this organization, I'm not finna give Michael Penix any breaks. I'm not. Now, if he was truly a first-year true rookie, I wouldn't be as harsh on him. You know, I would still point out, like, hey, the rookie was bad today. But I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I see Dr. Gunn just says careless and no urgency from the quarterback. You were right. And that's something I ain't even mentioned either. When we went to the hurry-up offense at the end of the second quarter, and Penix really was the reason we ran out of time. No, y'all just want to know the truth. I know everybody going to say it's Zach Robinson's fault. And, you know, that's just – I tell y'all all the time, man, Falcons fans have to create a scapegoat, bro. They have to create a scapegoat. You know, they don't never like to point the fingers at the players, but I don't give a damn. To be honest with you, I don't give a damn. You know, but no urgency. When I watched that final drive in the second quarter, and Michael Penix is being all cool, like the same stuff that people be criticizing Raheem for, like, you know, no showing no fire, no urgency, and you know all that stuff you hear about Raheem. I saw from Penix. I'm like. Penix was just like, man, I'm too cool for school, y'all. You know, y'all ain't finna see me break no sweat out here trying to hurry up and get to the line and get my guys set up and call for the ball and call for the snap early. Man, that gonna break my coolness, bro. I'm too cool for school. I'm gonna sit here and I'm a diddy bop. No, I'm a diddy bop with my do-rag on to the line. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, take my time. I'm going to call for that ball when I get good and ready, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna break no sweat, you know? No, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Just too cool for school. Like, bro, get to the line. Come on. Let's go. Y'all done seen them quarterbacks with like 2 minute old, you know, hurry up offense. Come on, let's go. And they moving fast and Penix just sitting there. rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice, laid back. Like, bro, what is he doing? What is my quarterback? What is he doing? What is he doing? I got a comment from Gregory. It says, man, this brother had one bad day and everybody act like the freaking world ended. Everybody have a damn bad day. He will bounce back. Haters, you got it. If you come on here and tell the truth about the team you've been rooting for all your life, if you ain't sitting on behind the mic playing politics, you're called a hater. Called the hater. Called the hater. I told y'all this was gonna be unpopular, because it's always easier to blame the coaching staff, especially when you don't have a tenured coaching staff, somebody who's been in place a long time and has given you a lot of great memories. At that point, it's easy for a fan base to blame coaches because you don't have no loyalty to them. You don't have any attachments. They have not given you anything to have their back. Like no matter what, a large portion of the Kansas City Chiefs fan base, they're gonna have Andy Reid back, Jack. They're gonna have his back. Like, boy, you crazy? Like, man, that brought us a Super Bowl here. Like, cause it's that emotional attachment is there with them and their coach. Even going back to, let's go back to Bill Belichick. When he was still coaching for the Patriots, even though it was clear that he wasn't the same coach, the Patriots fan, oh boy, that Bill, they better not get rid of Bill. Boy, they better not get rid of Bill. Shoot, that ain't on Bill. That ain't on Bill. That's not on Bill. Bill that gave them so much glorious history, and even Mike Tomlin, I know it's only one Super Bowl, but he been there so long. But when you've had a long-term coach, or even a coach that has just established himself and gave the fan base something to be proud of, something to cheer for, they're going to stand behind that coach. Whereas the Atlanta Falcons, we haven't had that from a coach. So it's easy for us to just always blame coaches. It's easy. That's simple. That's easy to do. It's easy. Oh, man, that's Arthur Smith win shit. Who else went? Dean Pease, he win shit. Jimmy Lake, he win shit. Raheem Morris, he ain't shit. Zach Robinson, he ain't shit. So every coach that come across here ain't shit. Yeah. Don't nobody ever think to talk about, well, you know what? The players, hey, you want to talk about the players? It's easy to blame the coaches. That's simple. That's easy. What I'm doing tonight is not popular. I understand that. I understand that me being this critical of our new quarterback who's already a fan favorite. I understand there's going to be people throwing tomatoes at me like Gregory was, and he called me a hater. I get it. I said from the jump, this won't be popular. This is going to be unconventional, and most everybody here, you hear talk about the game. They not going to dig this deep into it. But I promise you, if you're an objective, honest person, go back, watch the tape. And if you do that, you gonna say, you know what? Tie the big head ass, that motherfucker went live. Penix was absolutely trash this game, bro. Yeah, Zach might not have did this or that, and Raheem might not have did this or that, but boy, Penix was terrible this game. He was ass. Tie the big head ass, he went live. I had to go back and watch it for myself. That Penix was terrible. He was missing everybody. He was setting his receivers up to get killed. Go back. I probably go back and watch it, y'all. I kid you not. Y'all. You can't throw that interception in the NFL. You can't be that careless with the football. That's not on Zach Robinson. I'm sorry. That's not on Zach. That's not on Raheem either. That's on your quarterback. That's why the quarterback's making 50, 55, 60 million a year because they have so much control over the outcome of a game. The quarterback have more control over the outcome of the game than the head coach, believe it or not. And I know some of y'all think I'm crazy when I say this, but believe it or not, the quarterback have more control over the outcome of the game than the head coach. That's why they make the money that they make. That's why they make the money that they make. Brian said one thing about it, the tape don't lie. Brian, you are so correct, dog. That's why I'm talking with so much conviction tonight, because I know what I saw. I know what's going to be on that tape when people go back and watch it. I know it's going to be on that tape. I know every single thing that I said tonight, that tape will validate for me. I know it. I know when people go back and watch 4th and 4, they're going to see what, damn, tight end line. I know when they go back and watch that pick 6 and see how careless Penix was with the football and how what a terrible decision he made to even throw the football. Don't put no pressure on the defense by getting out of the pocket, make the defender make a decision, and don't make life absolutely easy for their defenders. They're going to see, well, damn, tight end line. I know when they watch the first play of the game and you're going to see Kyle Pitts wide open, and for some reason we can't complete the easiest of pass. We overthrow a 6'6", 240-pound tight end. I know they're going to say, damn, tight end line. I know when they watch that Darnell Mooney play, them talking about, they go, but damn, he really won line. I'm just keeping it funky with y'all, bro. I'm just keeping it funky. And we got Noah E. Fan base already turned on Michael Penix Jr. after 2 bad games in a row. See, it's comments and people like that misconstrue somebody sitting behind his mic and who ain't gonna bullshit you. Who ain't gonna bullshit you and gonna tell you exactly what they saw and not sit here and coddle you. Oh, yeah, it'll be okay. You know, so he don't understand it. He obviously don't understand it because he already said, he already done turned on Michael Penix Jr. No, I hadn't turned on Michael Penix Jr. I still got the same confidence in Penix Jr. now than before the game started. But do y'all like to be lied to? You know, should I just come on? Oh man, well yeah, it's Zach Robinson fault. It's on Zach, boy. That's on Raheem, dog. That's all Raheem fault. I mean, if that's what if that's what you prefer to listen to, bro, and you don't want to listen to a straight shooter, I suggest you hit that unsubscribe button, go elsewhere, bro. I only can be me. I ain't finna say no bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you, none of that shit like that, bro. I only can be me. If we were sitting right next to each other without the dynamic of the World Wide Web to transmit this information, I would say the same thing to you, face to face, man to man. Bruh, Michael Penix was ass today, dog. He was ass. And we could talk about the Falcons from that statement right there. He was ass today. He was ass. And we could keep going right there. And you would see like, damn, this bro just being real. He ain't shitting on Penix. He being real. Penix was shit. He was terrible today. He ain't shitting on Mike. He's just telling you what he saw. And Penix come out here next week and he put up 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interception. Bro, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna prop him up like he the next Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna prop him up like he the next Patrick Mahomes. You know, so what the team give me, that's what I'm gonna report on. You know, I hate to use the word report on. It sound like a journalist, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna jump on no hype trains, and I'm not gonna jump on no narratives and just play like everything was all coaching. I'm not gonna do that. I promise you that I'm not gonna do that. I know that's more favorable, and I know that would paint me and probably this channel in a better light, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. And that's really been my ammo since day one. I came on YouTube banging on the Falcons. And I can promise y'all, everybody know YouTube pay, but I promise y'all they don't pay like that. Not making Falcons content. You know, if you don't hear frequently doing Falcons content, you're doing it out of the love for the team or out of the love of doing what you do on YouTube. Because the niche isn't that big. It's not that profitable. What I do every day off of YouTube, I'm doing it out for the love of the team. I was doing all this stuff behind the scenes before being a content creator became cool. Before that became cool. And now everybody, you know, it's cool, it's trendy, you know. Behind the scenes, I was doing all this stuff that I'm doing right now today over 10 years ago before it became a thing. Back when people used to think you were a lame or you were a cornball if you sit here making content or creating content for a football team. So that's how far I'm going back with it. So when people want to say, well, you hang or, you know, you done turned on Penix. No, I'm keeping it real, bro. And like I said, I would have the same conversation with you man to man. And I'm not saying man to man on some macho stuff, you know, but I'm just saying I'm not putting on the front for the camera is what I'm trying to say. You know, if we was in a barbershop, I like, boy, Penix. I like, dog, you saw the Falcons game? Yeah, I see the boy. Penix was ass winning, boy. Like, yeah, he was. Yeah, boy, like he couldn't hit the side of a boy. What's up with your boy? You know, that's how I'm gonna come with it. That's how I would talk to you if we were live. Ain't nothing changing now that I got a mic hooked up. So no, it ain't no turning on Penix. I'm not being a hater like somebody else called me. I'm telling y'all what I saw, man. I'm just telling y'all straight up what I saw. Just telling you what I saw. And like I say, I know this. I knew going into this was gonna be an unpopular take. And as I said when I started, I knew days like this was coming. I knew this was coming. That's just how NFL football is. When you have young quarterbacks, man, there is so much weight on their shoulders, so much that they have to learn. And some games they just get overwhelmed and they just perform like trash. And Penix was trash today as a player. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not calling him as a man trash, but his play today was trash. And I can't sit here and try to hide behind what's easy and blaming the coaches when I saw my quarterback play like trash today. I seen it. You know, so that's what I'm at with it, man. Dr. Slick Nuts tight. I agree that Penix looked like shit. He underthrew balls and he overthrew. He passed too quick with pressure and rushed passes, even when he wasn't all around bad performance. With that being said, it's still on the coach. Coaching for me, considering they didn't have a good game plan to put these players in position. I can respect that, Dr. Slick Nuts, but I would have to disagree with the second part of that. When you say they didn't have a good game plan to put these players in position, I saw plenty of opportunities today where our quarterback just didn't hit guys who were open, bro. I mean, like, I can't wait to watch the film. When we do like the film, when we review the film tomorrow or Tuesday, like somebody else in the comments said, the film ain't gonna lie. That's why I'm talking with so much conviction and just so much confidence, because I know what I saw. I know I saw guys getting open, and I know I saw our quarterback do bad things with the football in critical moments. I know that. I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. So I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to the film session. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. But again, I'm cool with Raheem getting blamed. I'm cool with the new kicker getting blamed. Hell, his ass missed 2 damn field goals soon as he got his money. I'm cool with him getting blamed. I'm cool with Zach Robinson getting blamed. But the problem that I have is when people try to mask terrible quarterback play. Because if the quarterback is playing that terrible, it almost don't matter to a certain extent. You know, what's going on coaching wise? You know, if my quarterback can't complete a 5-yard pass to a 6'6", 240 tight end, hey man, we got problems. If my quarterback is just freewheeling, just you know, throwing candy apple pick sixes, hey man, what? Got a problem. There's going to be problems. There's going to be problems. Coach Corner in the building. What's up, with your coach? Says, yeah, you have to be able to take your fan head off and you will see this is all facts. And coach, that's all I'm doing, bro. Like, I don't even like the fact that I have to verbalize how bad Penix was today, because Penix was terrible today. Absolutely terrible. It looked like at one point in time, I don't want to say the kid gave up, but boy, I think the Panthers found a way to break his spirit. And once they broke his spirit, his confidence was shot. His confidence was gone. You could see that. That's why he kept throwing them dump off passes. He refused to throw the ball in the middle of the field. I'm gonna just go dump it off. But you know, going back to the game plan, I wish we would have ran more. You know, if y'all want to blame the coaches for that, I'm all with you. I'm with you on that. Should have just followed what they started, Minnesota, and let that been our offensive identity. I said this a little bit earlier, but we're in a conundrum, because on one hand, there is a valid point to be made when people have concerns about overusing Bijan Robinson. Those are valid concerns, because modern history in NFL football has shown us that unless you like a Derrick Henry or you built like that, you don't have a real long shelf life in the NFL as a running back, unfortunately. And that's my favorite position. You know, I like watching running back play, but history has shown you don't have a very long shelf life. So when people say, you know, they don't want to run Bijan to the ground, they make very valid points by saying that. But this is the conundrum. He's clearly and easily the best player. Again, I repeat, Bijan averaged 5.5 yards rushing today. When he got the ball, he averaged 5.5 yards rushing. Michael Penix throwing the football only averaged 4.7 yards. That's almost a full yard. That's a big, significant difference when you're talking football. So while we want to decrease the risk of injury or him just getting, you know, beaten down and Bijan Robinson and not focus on him so much, that means, okay, well, let's take the best player on the team easily out of the offense, which doesn't do the offense any justice if you're taking the best player out of the offense. So really, as I see it, you got to run this offense through Bijan until Michael Penix gets ready. Until Penix gets ready to the point where he's ready to throw the ball 35 times a game and win a game like that. Until he gets to that point, and that probably won't happen this season. But until he's at that point, it's hard not to, it's hard not to just turn around, hand the ball to Bijan. You know, or find Bijan out there running a route. It's hard not to do that because Bijan is so damn great. He's so dynamic. That's the one player that keeps defenses on their toes is Bijan Robinson. So it's a real complex and delicate situation. Because if you take an NFL player at number 8 overall in the first round, that player is supposed to play a lot of football. That player is supposed to play a lot of football if he's drafted at number 8. You don't take a left tackle, a right tackle, a wide receiver, or cornerback, a linebacker, an edge rusher at 8th overall in the draft and say, well, you know what? Let's put him on a pitch count. I don't want to run him down. Oh, no. The left tackle that we took at 8th overall. No, I don't want him playing every play. Let's just let him play 60% of the snaps. No. Any other position outside of quarterback, if you're taking a guy 8th overall, that motherfucker staying on the field. Ain't no pitch count. Ain't no watching his carries. Ain't no watching his snaps. There's no trying to preserve him for the future. No, you're playing. You're playing 90% of the time. Unless you're a quarterback. We all know quarterback is a lot different. That's a whole different world. Let's just take the quarterback position out the equation. And with that said, that's why a lot of people had a problem with Bijan at 8 because he is a running back. And they don't last as long as they used to in terms of playing football at a high level. So that's why a lot of people had an issue with him at 8. The whole argument was Jalen Carter or Bijan. You think the Philadelphia Eagles say, hey man, let's not try to run Jalen Carter to the ground? No. Get your ass in there and play football. Get in there and play football. That's why we draft you at number 8. And then you drafting a running back at number 8, you kind of want to justify the pick at the same time. So it's a complex situation. Because when Bijan is involved, engaged in the game, the Falcons have a better chance of winning. Simply put, because he's that great of a player. You talking about a guy that can get you 120 yards receiving and a guy that can get you 120 yards rushing. And you mess around, he can get you both of them in the same game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that during his career. 120 rushing, 120 receiving. That's how special Bijan is. So it's tough, man, because now you're at the point where you really need to lean on Bijan. You really need to lean on Tyler. This offense really needs to be ran like 2008. You don't need Michael Penix trying to throw the ball 35 times a game. 28 passing attempts or under Michael Penix, that should be the cutoff zone. Everything else, Bijan, Tyler, Bijan, Tyler. Run the ball. In all probability, Tyler Algier will not be here next year. So go ahead and get what you can with him in terms of production and snaps while he's here, while he's cheap. Because I'm sure he's gone next year. He only had one rushing attempt today. That man ain't trying to sit here and be a backup and barely play. So we need to lean on that run game. And I'm just like y'all who had that same point of view. Like, I don't want to run Bijan to the ground, but you drafted him 8th overall. If you got to sit here and put him on a snap counter and watch how much you use him, don't draft him at 8. Go somewhere else with the pick. But if this is the best player on the team and you desperately need him while you got this young quarterback, you got to use him. So if that means we turn back into the 2008 Falcons, then by all means do it. By all means do it. That's when we're at our best. I had seen us look as good as a team as we looked last week playing the Vikings. We looked like a team that could win a Super Bowl game. Today, we look like a team that can win 3 or 4 games. You know, so that's a lot to consider, man. That's a lot to consider. But like I say, I'm looking forward to the film tomorrow. I'm gonna try my damnedest to make sure we watch film tomorrow and not Tuesday. So, you know, I'll try to get the crew to come up here if they're able, and we'll watch the film. So, you know, for anybody who felt some kind of way about the commentary that I had tonight, if you feel I'm a hater, or if you feel like I'm turning on turning on Michael Penix, which I'm not, I cordially invite you to come back tomorrow and watch us as we watch the film. And if the film lies, I'll tell you that the film is lying. But I know that's not gonna happen. But come back tomorrow. I'll try to come on. I'm not sure what time I'll be able to come on, to be honest. Maybe around, I'm thinking it'll be nighttime. Maybe around about 8:30, 9:30 at nighttime. If I could come on any earlier than that, I'll do it. But I invite you to come back. Come back and just sit down and, you know, and go over the film with us. And let me know what you see. Because we're going to see what's on that film tomorrow. And a lot of stuff that y'all heard me complaining and bitching about tonight, you'll see that tomorrow too. But with that said, man, happy Monday to y'all. It's officially Monday, the first day of fall. Summer is officially over. I'm gonna be sad about that too, because I like the hot weather. I like spring. I like summer. But with that said, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow, bro. I appreciate y'all time. Appreciate y'all rock with me, and we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.